Oh my god. Last time I was like, oh, it's the finale of Ghost Trick, and then it kept going. And I was like, just kidding. It's the finale of Ghost Trick this time. Actually, the finale of Ghost Trick this time. Yeah, there was too much, left last time. So yeah. Because, last time we ended, Detective Jowd followed the location of the manipulator. He had, like, a tracking device, which led him to a submarine that took off. I don't know what the word would be for that. Started moving. And yeah, basically shit started getting real. A submarine took off. So we are in a submarine right now. We are a ghost inside a submarine. That is what's happening right now. We are trying to figure out... Well, it was like on the bottom of the ocean and it started moving. So it didn't dive. It was already in the water. So I don't know. Also, there's a ghost here. There's another ghost here. Hello. So you're here, huh? Missile is in the sub with us. Well, that's good news. I am relieved. At least the dog is here with us. I don't know how he got here, but... Yeah, it did a blub blub. I think I remember who you are by now. What do you suppose that shack was a minute ago? He is indeed a ghost dog, yes. That is why he's inside of a submarine. I have no idea, of course. I'm just a little sheltered apartment dog. Of my lots of memory, I can't say I'm much better. He wants to protect Camila and try and make her not kidnapped, so he stayed ghost. Anyway, let's hurry up and go save Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla. Do you think that trusty nose of yours can sniff them out? I'm sorry, I don't think it can. Why did I even bother to ask? But you do have the power to swap objects. So let's find that lady detective and the little lady together. You got it. Alright. Ooh, a phone ringing right now on this sub. Wow! It's Miss Camilla, I just know it. My trusty nose is practically screaming at me. I think you'd call that a hunch. Let's go before that phone stops ringing. Well, who the heck is calling a submarine at a time like this? Well, let's find out. Away! Answer the phone. Hello? 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 It's no use! Oh. That's cool. Yes, dude, this game goes wherever the fuck it wants, man. Just create a path for me, Missile. I'll come right over. So maybe Missile cannot do the phone thing like Sissel does, perhaps. Oops, I pressed the wrong button again. It's the first... I have to do that at least once. Okay. Okay. So, let's do some shenaniganery. That did not help at all. That's fine. What about this? These things. Oop. And swap these things? Ooh, wait, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Ooh. There we go. Ghosts also don't have hands. Nobody has hands at this moment in time. Or legs, or anything. Oops, I need you to move, Missile. Thank you. Please move over here. Thank you. Okay, now I can get in here. I can get in here. And then I need him to move that up. Alrighty. Got it. Ah! The phone's off the hook! Heard an explosion in the distance. Got a bad feeling about this. Sissel, look! It came off the hook. Oh no, we gotta get to that phone. Let's see. I am still up here though, so I can still get to the phone. Oh no, it is Camilla! He was right. Hello? Is anybody there? It's her, the lady. It's Sissel. Where are you? Somebody please answer. Guess she can't hear my voice. Oh, we can't physically talk through the phone. That sucks. You too, huh? Oh, good. I thought she was ignoring me. Somebody help me. Lynn is... Oh no, not again! Lynn, no! She said Lynn. Miss Lynn! We better hurry. Let's go, Sissel. What now? Oh my god, Lynn, no, not again. It's no use. Nobody's answering. How did Camilla get here? How did everyone get on the submarine? What happened? Miss Camilla and Miss Lynn. Oh, poor Miss Lynn. Yeah, she can't seem to catch a break. Looks like another tragedy happened. And bubble wrap. Even that won't protect her. Sorry to keep you waiting, little lady. Sissy, I knew you'd come. Miss Camilla, where's Camilla? And Missile too. I'm so glad to see you're all right. Well, sort of. Well, I wouldn't say I'm all right. Exactly. Wait a minute. Missile, your voice. I think I remember hearing it somewhere before. What? My voice? Ah, that's right. Camilla has a core. That means she did hear Missile's voice when he saved her that time. Aww. That was you, wasn't it, Missile? You're the one who saved me in the park tonight. Thank you. Miss Camilla. I'm so glad I was born, you little doggy. Hey, Missile? Yeah, she was squashed by the giant, I don't know, the giant football-shaped silver thing? I don't know what you would call it. I guess I called the protector of the park Mino or something. But Missile swapped it with the thing. I think it was like a football or a leaf. I think he swapped it with a leaf, so that other guy got squished and we had to fix that. Could you stay here and watch over your mistress? Huh? Don't you need my powers? I'll see what I can do on my own for a little while. After all, you're the only one who can protect her. Okay, I'll do it. Thank you, Missile. Yeah, Camilla's death count is only 1 in comparison to her sister Lynn. I wonder what happened this time. Better talk to the little lady once more. Better do something about the detective. Alright, can you give us an update on what's happening? Oh, I like that Missile's just hanging out in the little thing above. That's very cute. Could I talk to you a minute? Yes, Sissy? Could you tell me what happened? I was shoved into a box. I really do not. What happened to you at last I saw you? Oh, after that, I think I fell asleep. Understandable. What else you gonna do when you're shoved in a box? I woke up to the sound of an engine. She was already in the submarine by then, eh? I thought to myself, I have to escape. Okay. Next thing I knew, I found myself in this big room. I was so tired, I couldn't move. And then... Camilla! I was so relieved. I don't remember what happened after that. She must have passed out, poor thing. You've been through so much. You're very brave. I think Lynn's probably been through more than me. We've both been brave. Alright. Well, let's check in on Lynn. Oh, almost. Almost there. Now we check in on Lynn. Oh, Cecil, you're here! At least she's always in a good mood. We can rely on that. It's like death and taxes. We can always rely on Lynn dying and being in a good mood about it. Lynn, what in the world happened to you? I don't know. Huh? I just sort of blacked out all of a sudden. Next thing I know, I was dead. I guess you wouldn't know in that case. And where's Detective Jowd? Is he alright? I don't know. Huh? The room he was in just disappeared. Oh yeah, the middle of the submarine that he was in just like detached. It was something else. Now it's all making less sense than before. After we left the super's office, we followed after the man in red. We tracked him with that radio transmitter Inspector Cabanilla fired into him with a bullet. The man in red took a boat out to sea from a small harbor on the edge of town. Detective Jowd and I managed to secretly stow away on his boat. Then we sneaked out onto the submarine with him when it surfaced. Oh, okay. It did surface at one point. Then the submarine dove back down. Detective Jowd and I decided to split up. He would take care of the telephone line. That's how we got there. And I would look for Camilla. I found Camilla hiding here in the engine room, so she escaped and ran away here. Wow, that's quite an adventure. What happened next? I don't know. Huh? There was a flash of white all of a sudden. Next thing I know, I was dead. Oh boy. Sounds like it'd be quicker for me to see for myself. Alright, Lynn, what unfortunate thing happened to you this time? Alright. Camilla, are you okay? That's a gun. Oh no. Oh no. That's a terrible way to go. That's a bad way to go. That's a real bad way to go. Hello, Lynn. Or is it Detective now? It's been 10 years since we last met. Are you really that man from the park 10 years ago? Well, I see there's no need to introduce myself. Give Camilla back. She has nothing to do with any of this. Afraid I can't do that. This is my last chance. The phone is ringing. It's not for me. Nobody ever calls the dead. Man, where'd you get the fucking Tommy gun? The fact that you're here means that my revenge plan has failed. Revenge plan? It didn't happen tonight, did it? His execution. Well, knowing him, I half expected as much. That's why I was waiting here like this, waiting for him to show up. Is that why you brought the Tommy gun? Wouldn't it be just what he wanted? To be executed by his own daughter? I heard about 10 years ago. I feel sorry about what happened to you. But revenge? Nobody could possibly know what I've... What in the world? An explosion? Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Have I been had? Look out! Oh... She did not get shot, she got smushed by rubble. So I think the rumbling is from... Actually, I don't know, because they did leave. There was a, like, middle compartment that the blue people left with. And... Well, she could have been in there for a while, and it's flooding, because it seems like the ceiling collapsed. That's probably the man in red realizing that, in that room was the man in red's original body, and they, like, took out the meteorite from it, and they're basically like, oh, we got what we wanted, we don't give a shit about you anymore, and then they left, and that's why the middle room left. So, but the rumbling and why the ship is falling apart, we don't really know at this moment. Revenge. That's a feeling I can't understand. Of course not. You're not him. She's right. I'm not him, am I? He was going to shoot Detective Jowd as Camilla when he came to rescue her. It's just too horrible. Anyway, let's bring you back to life. Again. How am I gonna stop this, by the way? Didn't have to add the again part. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous last time. Cause of death was a mysterious explosion. You're pretty up for a dead woman. You know how detectives love a good mystery. It's like a shot of vitamins. What do you mean for a dead woman? Anyway, I guess we should look for a way to stop the explosion. Alright, let's do this thing. Finding clues is like a dose of minerals. What are vitamins? Minerals? Okay. So it's it's kind of like before, where it's like, we're not really gonna prevent what's happening, which is the stuff falling on the ground. It's more like we're preventing the cause. Okay, so our best bet is getting in that freaking Tommy gun when pseudo Camilla gets close to us. Okay. Phone call. I wonder if I can get up to that phone. Okay, get in the Tommy gun. See if I can get in that phone. Ah, no! I thought I could use the phone if it was being called. What are you talking about? The receiver has to be off the hook. Oh my god. Oh no. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself. Okay, we have to get the phone off the hook? Oh no. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Time for shenanigans then. Alright. Turn the wheel. Oh, we did it! Yes! Phone is off the hook. We totally planned this. Who's calling? Oh, it's some military guy. Hello? Anybody there? If anyone's still there, get yourself here on the double. We're about to head out. Speak up, why don't you answer? Anyway, if you're coming, we're leaving. Okay. Bye. Must be true what they say. That there are restless ghosts on board. That does it. I promise to turn over a new leaf, Mom. What? Okay. Neither of us are really resting in peace. Well, that makes us restless ghosts. Anyway, looks like the sub just lost one of its crew. Guess that means the fate of the sub has changed. Alright. Okay, yeah, okay, so this is happening at this point in time. Okay. This is when this happens. Okay. This is when Jowd made the phone call to us. We got on the sub. Man in Red's body. They obtained. Okay. Oh god, you missed all that, huh? Oh boy, that's a whole lot to explain. Whoa, that's a whole lot to explain, yeah. How do I bring you up to speed in like 2 sentences? Sissel is not Sissel. There's a second person that's not Sissel. Not Sissel was a man that ran away from, the government. He was being interrogated. He went into a park. He kidnapped, Lynn. He got hit by a meteorite and died. The meteorite gave him magic ghost powers, and he died. So his body is, a permanently dead vessel that cannot die ever and cannot be hurt. Gives him ghost powers. He can ghost trick. And thus, he can do what Sissel does. So he can, like, move objects and shit, but he can also ghost trick people. So that's why Camilla was acting the way that she does, because he can, like, come out of that body and go into people and then ghost trick them. But then he can also go back into that body because he's dead. Because a fucking meteorite hit him. Yeah. A lot happened. Yes, we're eventually going to learn his actual name. He wants to get revenge on Jowd because he somehow blames him, for what happened to him that day. He blames everyone for what happened to him that day, even though it was very circumstantial. Yeah, I don't know. How do I sum up 3 hours of backstory in, like, 2 sentences? Anyways. Yeah, we're at endgame. Then this happens. Then they discover that the reason that he can do all that is because he has a fucking meteorite in him. Yes, the Temzik fragment, that's what they call it. Shit's about to get even wilder if we're able to get up there, in a second. I don't think so. I don't think that happens quite yet. Okay. They decided to conclude the party without the other party present. I'm just gonna go ahead and steal the Temzik fragment. That's cheating! I think we have more important things to think about right now. Yeah, so Not Sissel was trying to basically flee the country and start his life anew, and he had some kind of deal with the blue country people, and he basically stashed his body with them, thinking he could trust them, so that they would, like, take his body to their country, but they're basically backstabbing him by taking the fragment out of him, and by, like, and that, like, basically gets rid of his powers. Okay. Okay, how are we gonna get over there, though? How are we gonna get up there? Let's see. Oh no! Oh, it's coming. It's coming down here. Oh, I can get in there. Ooh, fun. Well, here I go. Whee! Oh, okay. We're in here now. So there he is. He's all happy and proud. Ah, the Temsic fragments are mine at last. Is it like a rocket ship? He's being like very Dr. Eggman right now. I like all the little minions like squished in there. The objective has been achieved. Now detach the control room. Yes, sir. Farewell, sir. Boop. Oh, maybe that's the rumbling they hear. Yeah. What just happened? All the room just disappeared with Detective Jowd in it. Don't worry, Lynn. I bet Detective Jowd can take care of himself. The main thing right now is rescuing you and the little lady. I can't believe this is happening. Now then, I better hurry along. Before Sissel discovers he's lost and comes after me. The Yanoa will be his coffin. Oh, that's a missile. And now the dog. May it lie buried here in the deep sea forever. Farewell, Sissel. Okay, so he escapes in his little Dr. Eggman pod. With his little minions. Oh, that's why he made the phone call, because he's like, hey, anyone left? Gotta get in this little thing. Gotta get in here, otherwise you're gonna get left. That's the cause of the explosion. What is? Don't tell me that's another thing you've forgotten. The torpedo! It's like, well, you heard a missile, right? Yeah. A different missile. Looks like he plans to sink the submarine with that thing. This is not good. We have to do something before that torpedo is fired. Okay, let's see. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're just gonna, get inside a torpedo. There's no time. It's gonna launch. Don't worry. We can still find a way to stop it. What? How? Even if the torpedo does launch, we just have to stop it from detonating, right? There's still something we can do. I hope? Why was the I hope the strongest part of that sentence? Okay, here goes. Were torpedoes invented yet in Victorian times? I know probably submarines were. So yes, probably one of the funnest, most creative puzzles in the whole game is being inside a torpedo. The absolute sheer madness and genius of this creator. I fucking love it. Came along for the ride without giving it too much thought. But was this really the best move? I think so. We just have to keep it from going off, right? I'm sure this poor little rat will thank us too. Oh no, more rat abuse! How in the world did it get in here? Alright, we are inside a torpedo that is spinning. Do you know how a torpedo works? No, can't say I do. I saw it explained once in a book. Once on impact, the fuse in the tip is depressed. That in turn sets off the detonator. Detonator, huh? Must be the red button. How do we stop it? They didn't explain anything about that in the book. Wow, detectives sure know a lot. Or not. Okay. So, this thing? These outside parts are supposed to be weights of some sort. Apparently their spinning helps the torpedo maintain its balance. It must be pretty heavy. I wonder if we can use these weights to our advantage. Okay, so we can stop them at some point. Alright. So joint. Well, okay. Mousy gets squashed. What do you mean by technically? What do you mean by technically? What were torpedoes like back then? That's wild. We clamp this thing and should keep it from moving. We might be able to stop the torpedo from exploding. Alright, we gotta get the mouse off. Yeah. Okay, gyroscope. Detonator. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We don't have a lot of time. Problem is we have a little mousey on top. Oh, well if we... Hold on. If we stop this one up here and maybe stop this one down here? Will it be imbalanced or something? Oh, he's strong! He's so strong! Oh, but he's getting tired. Only our missile were here. True that. Okay. We're gonna blow up the submarine. Okay. I need to somehow get this mouse to be flung out of air. How do I do this? There's not too much to work with here. All I can think of is stopping these things at a specific time. Oh. Oh my god! Oh! That did it! Oh my god, will I have enough time? Will I have enough time? Ah! Go, 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 go! We clamped the safety. We did it! That should keep the torpedo from exploding! There's one problem. Problem? The torpedo is still going to, impact. We can't do anything about that. Uh-oh. Just fine. It's fine. We're just gonna crash a torpedo. It's fine. It's not gonna blow up. It's gonna crash. What was that noise? What was that noise? Looks like the torpedo still hit the submarine. But the submarine is still okay. Rubble will not rain down on Lynn's head. This changes everybody's fate, including the little rats. Including the rat! Yay! Sissel, we did it! Hell yeah. What's the matter? You look unhappy. We saved a rat! I mean my life! I mean Camilla's life! It's not the torpedo. We still open up a gaping hole in the submarine. You're right. I guess that's just what missiles do! They're unstoppable! Am I hearing things? Anyway, guess we gotta go back to the present. Right, I'm worried about Camilla. Well, is it gonna be Camilla or is it gonna be not Camilla? That's the question. We managed to stop death for now, but it hasn't disappeared altogether. It's now slowly but surely filling the room. Yeah, unfortunately there's a giant gaping hole in your torpedo, or your submarine, because of a torpedo. A lot of sleeping through the hole where the torpedo hit. Gotta make sure she does not freaking drown. Gotta get them out of here. Better go meet up with Lynn. you know. Oh, I probably gotta spin my way over there, probably. Or not. Actually, probably need to get... Okay. Not as easy as I thought it would be. Oh. Okay. Lights are out, but the machine still works. Let's see. Just gotta time it right. Oh, come on. Come on, baby. Okay, I think this will move me up. Come on! Can't quite reach that one, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, there's a gear that's turning. Okay. So that seems to be what I gotta take advantage of then. Okay. I was barking up the wrong tree. Barking up the wrong tree. Don't have to worry about those stupid fans. Nope. Okay. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Yeah. Ah, my arms are so short. My little ghost arms. My little ghost arms. There we go. There we go. Okay, what can I do now? Ooh, it pushes it up. Neat. Okay. Got a fire extinguisher. Got a wheel. Pipe. Lots of stuff going on over here. Oh, flashlight. Quick, SOS. She gonna be normal? Yay, she's normal. Lynn. Camilla, you're awake. How do you feel? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I pointed that gun at you. Don't worry about that. That, wasn't you. Miss Camilla. Oh, Missile, you're here. Oh, poor Miss Camilla. Miss Lynn, what should we do? We have to get out of here before any more water comes in. Sissel should be along any second. I knew Sissy would come. And Missy is here, too. I'm so happy everybody's gonna be with me now. So tired. Man mood. Camilla! Miss Camilla! I'll get you out of here. If it's the last thing I do. Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. Or whimper. I better send a signal to Lynn that I'm here before it's too late. Quick, make SOS with the flashlight. Ooh, that flashlight. It's Sissel, he's here. Upsy daisy. Yeah, I remember this portion too. I'm glad you're here, Sissel. I am also a light now. I am like the lamp. I will be your guide. Sorry for the wait. Looks like this room is gonna fill up with water fast. We better get out that door as soon as we can. We won't be getting out that door, I'm afraid. The water pressure's too great. I can't open it. What? What does, water pressure mean? Think of it as the force of water holding the door closed. The water level keeps getting higher and higher in here. Only way out is up, huh? Exactly. Okay, got it. Let's look for a path that goes up. Look at that ladder. I wonder if we can get it down somehow.
Good idea. Let's try it.
Oh, and by the way...
Yeah?
I can't swim. Neither can Camilla.
Don't you have any good news for me?
Let me think about it. In the meantime, could you hurry, please? Okay. There's a handle. That moved a glove, which lets me get up here, which lets me move a hook, which, I feel like, honestly, her luck wasn't bad until, you know, the park incident. I kind of get that vibe. What's this? Ooh, there's a door up here. It's stuck. Okay. Okay. There's this switch. Can this lower it? Yeah! Letter time! Oh! Please do not fall. Oh, what's that? Looks like water seeping in isn't the only thing we have to worry about. Huh? Sissel, the flashlight doesn't work anymore. Am I the only reason the flashlight worked?
Hey, don't get mad at me.
Maybe the contacts are bad or something. Hey, I know. You can fix it with your powers.
Okay, that's just taking things too far.
I gotta do everything around here. Oh, hey, great. Did you used to be an electrician in your past life or something?
That's a cruel question considering the circumstances.
Dude, the animations are everything in this game. So good. If I get to that door, we're safe. I said it before, I want to say it again. I could say it all day. It's why I was so drawn to this game. I watched a little bit of, like, the original DS, like, footage. And it's crazy, like, how good the Switch models, like, look. Like, the animations are pretty much the same. But, it's amazing, like, how good it like, translated. Because, like, they pop really, really good on the DS. But I was, like, wowed, like, how much of an upgrade they really got. It's like, I thought they looked good then, but I'm like, wow, they look so good now. What happened? Looks like the submarine decided to rear up on its hind legs. I can't believe we're still okay after that fall. Either we're really lucky or we're dead and we haven't realized it yet. Ugh, as if the latter could be true. Alright, Lynn, you gotta be a real heroine. What now? The water sure is rising fast.
Come on! You'll just have to go up.
Let's see how I can help her with my ghost tricks. Alright. Time to lead Lynn to safety. I see a familiar flame over there. Sissel, there you are. How's it going?
How's it going? I'd say pretty badly.
You do understand how dangerous this situation is, don't you? Of course, after all, just ask anybody who knows how much I hate taking a bath. Maybe it's been a danger of drowning before. Okay, ready to create a path for these ladies? Of course. Alright, Pup Patrol. Oh, she's gonna pick up the flashlight. Let's go. Hell yeah. Alright. She's looking over here. Specifically, so maybe Missile needs to do something? Oh man. That sounds pretty specific. You know, it's a good thing I'm playing this game, after, that one incident that happened recently. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I think we all know what it is. I mean, to be fair, that one, exploded instantly on impact. It did not sink. Okay. Let's see. What have we got going on here? So we need to make a path for Lynn. Yeah, it imploded. Let's see. So we have a starter? Okay. Oh. We can move these pistons around. Hey, making a path! These pistons sticking out. It's almost like they're taunting me. Maybe it's a challenge. Think you can climb them? If I wasn't holding Camilla, I could probably do it easily. Cicely, you're not telling Miss Lynn to leave behind Miss Camilla, are you? Could you just be quiet for a minute, Missile? They could be used to our advantage. Alright, I remember. Yeah, they need to be arranged like a staircase. Uh-oh. Water's rising. It's up to my knees, and it's freezing cold. Let's hold on. Thanks, Missile. Oops, I gotta press the wrong button. You know me. I gotta press the wrong button. Okay. So I think it has something to do with these fans, if I recall correctly. Let me try it this time. Nope. How much piston is related to how large the fans are. Okay, got it. 3 different sizes of fans. Okay. Ah, did it again. Okay, so we have medium. Let's see. Large. And medium. Okay, so we need a small, medium, large kind of deal going on here. So... Aha! There you are, my friend. So we probably want small on the bottom, I imagine. There we go. So small, medium, large. Let's try that. Nope, that's not quite it. Large, small, medium? Let's try swapping these two around. Okay. What is up to my waist? I know, keep hanging on. Could you arrange them? Yes. Okay. So that bottom one looks good. No, it's small. Small on the bottom, medium. I thought it would be small, medium, large, but maybe it's large. It looks actually like large, medium, small. It looks like large, medium, small. Oops. I want to say it's large, medium, small, actually. Let's try large, medium, small. Let's try that. Yeah, that looks like a staircase. There, how about that? Wow, this is great. You made a staircase for me. You better hurry. I don't think that water's gonna wait for you. Alright, first obstacle, passed. The water indeed is not waiting for her. I do love how it's always Missile and Sissel working together to protect them. Ouch! Now the steam is getting in the way. It's too hot to get through. What? There's no way to go around. Think you can do something? Of course we can. We have to. There's, I don't know, there's such an interesting concept behind, like, the dead helping out the living. That's a very interesting concept to me. Two ghosts helping out two young ladies so they don't die. Alright, so we gotta replace these pipes. If I swap the pipes, changes how the steam comes out, eh? Because the cracks in the pipe are different. Each pipe sprays out steam in a different way, but that will come in handy. Just ghosts being treated as heroes in any way is a very interesting concept for sure. Alright, let's see how these two work. Oh, that one's bad. That one's bad. Let's see. That one's a no-go. I don't really have time to be, like, staring at them and see how the cracks go, so all I can do is really look at them and try it. That one's a good one. Here comes that water again. Wish I could drink it all up for you. No, Missile, it's too salty. Whatever, just do something. Leave it to me. Thanks, Missile. Okay. Nope, that one's good. Keep it the way it is. No. Let's just, try maybe swapping these two. How about that? No. That one actually is good, because it's facing down. What about these two? That one is facing down. I think, hold on. Blech. Let's see, is there just like a spare pipe around that I can just like, you know, commandeer? That'd be great. No, I don't think I see one. Alright. I have not failed yet. No, Lynn is still good. Okay, no. That's doing both ways. That's not good. Let's try it. Nah, that one's going up. Freaking Wind Waker ass steam. Oh no. Stop. My back is really starting to hurt. I don't think the back is your problem. Okay. Now I just need... Yeah, I think I legitimately need to... Ah, no! I fucked up! can take a little warm mist. That was no warm mist, it was boiling hot steam. Anyway. I don't think my powers alone are gonna be enough. Oh, okay. Thanks for the tip. Okay. That's, okay. Closing the valve, I'll shut off the steam flow to the first pipe. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Ooh, cranberry blood orange tea. That does sound divine. Actually, hold on. Swap. Okay, that one's... Okay. Let's try swapping these. Okay, that one's... So we want the left one, I think? No. Want this one and this one to swap? Okay. No. That's bad. Bad. Okay. Hey, I said yes! Okay. There. How does that look? Looks great. All that horrible steam is cleared out of the way. Not too far now. Try to move forward. Ow. You could do it, Lynn. Man, I don't know. I fucking love it. Lynn's all like, oh, Chad, you're such a hero. And then, like, look at her doing this. Climbing through a freaking submarine with her sister on her back. She's a real hero. Look up there. If I could just make it to that door, we can escape. How in the world am I gonna get up there? Don't yell at me. If you want to yell, you can yell at me. No, don't yell at that dog. Missile. How could I yell at you when you're so sweet about it? Let's look for something to pull Lynn up with. Oh, I think there was a chain. Whisk Miss Lynn up and glide her ever so gently to the top. Are you being sarcastic? Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I think there was legitimately... Yeah, there's this chain. Or hook or whatever. Grab on! Now this is what I'm talking about. Raise away! Riding in style. Not a moment to lose. Yeah, one-handed, that's real tough. Open it, hurry! Find any way to ask for something. Alright, let's do it. It's no use! It's no use! I can't budge it. It must be stuck. Oh no! No! This way. Yee! What just happened? I can't believe my eyes. Lynn and the little lady suddenly vanished, leaving only darkness and seawater. The submarine continues to sink down into the deep sea. I still want to try and make my way up as far as possible. Still want to head up to find a single ray of light. Light to illuminate the truth at the bottom of the deep, deep darkness. Ray of light? We haven't talked about him in a while. 5:10 a.m. Whew, that's late. Chapter 17. The upended submarine continues to sink, slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them. But at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down on them quietly. My head is filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? Eee! I see you managed to survive, detective. I love how you would absolutely not recognize him if he didn't fucking paint sunglasses or obtain sunglasses and like a cone. Absolutely love it. So creative. Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance. I seem to have lost my body. I'm looking at the screen! Oh, I forgot he does it twice! Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? How come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. He's dropped the act. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. I like how they both have the sunglasses, though. You can't remember who you are? That's right. I came all this way tonight, trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought I was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. I bet you'll remember really soon. Who you are and who I am, too. What? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something stirring in my mind. A memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had a deal with these people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they want. The Timzik fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. Alright, we're talking to not Sissel, who is composed of garbage. These 10 years. I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research, and I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently there are individual differences in the powers we get. And it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. It's like a freaking B-movie, man. It's radiation! That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day, 10 years ago, oof. He died again, ass down. Or ass up, face down, ass up. Damn. What a way to go. Fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart, and I died. So of course, I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. Yep, he was right by that meteor. Aren't the Temsic remnants still right there in the park? At the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. The fact that can return 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of the meteorite? One of the characteristics the meteorite has its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? This is also strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. Makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, it's such a dumb thing to say. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to the meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words... Oh, that's what he means by, like, it's time. Yeah, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and my death. What? My body's vital functions stopped 10 years ago. But my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So I simply existed. Not really alive, not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day. My hair hasn't grown an inch. Good thing it was really, really long. Yeah, I mean, one ring, apparently one meteorite, you know, same diff. Not willingly, though. Come to think of it, old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut his body with a scalpel. I guess as soon as an incision would be made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. That means you, like, couldn't die either? Like, you couldn't, like, kill yourself either. Sucks. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? All went fine. I manipulated the justice minister, made him issue the execution order, but I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. That's why you wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temzik. Secondary objective. Detective Jode was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Oh, that one was also space radiation. Nice. We need more things that have silly radiation as the reason. Yep, both of them. Inspector Cabaniella and the Junkyard Super. They were slated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, oh, they wanted to get rid of him as well. I was one of their targets as well. I told my Temzik fragment, and here I am. They had one more final target. Yeah, poor Lynn. You, detective. Me? Yeah, 'cause she was in the park. If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, and you'd become a detective looking into Joud's case. Tonight, I invited you into a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. Oh, yeah. The thing that started everything off. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago, so of course you didn't recognize me. Ah, that's why he points to himself. That's why she's like, no way. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. It was me! Wow, someone so weird looking! Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It's the first time I wasn't able to completely control someone. The aim was off, and the first shot missed the mark. Blech. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew he'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan, anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Ah, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. Me, the monkey wrench. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temzik meteorite. Because you were looking into the Jowd case. They thought you would find out about Temzik sooner or later. No more time for talking. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is to wait for the water pressure to crush the submarine. Oh no. There are no cores to link from here to the water surface. I have an idea. We could hook up the phone line and... There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. There's no escape. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine, sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. Oh no, Camilla, what a time to wake up! Lynn? Camilla, is it true we're stuck here? Oh, no, at least you got a little pillow. If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Okay, Camilla, I'm so sorry. That's funny. What is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Temzik fragment and escape, if that's all they wanted? Why did they just have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. Guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute! Yes, we do! This will tell us where Detective Jowd is. The present from the inspector in white. That's right. Detective Jowd told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in that person's body in the command room, right? We should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lynn? Right. Oh, wait a minute. What about a torpedo? A torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. Looks like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Quick, into the wine bottle! It's not too late to give up. It's never too late to give up. Lynn riding on a torpedo. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness. Hell yeah. Grape. Why is this machine shoving grapes at me? Oh, looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably for feeding him grapes. Oh, sounds heavenly. No, I don't think dogs are supposed to have grapes. I've been thinking about this for a while now. Don't you think this country's use of technology is a little off? Says the guy who make a deal. Anyway, looks like the arm of this machine is busted. It's fine. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get it. Fine. Missile, you do it. Oh, I can't be missile. It's fine. Oh. Oh, it stopped. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, I actually did not mean to talk to you, but it's fine. Don't worry about that. Comments like that roll off Miss Lynn's back. Yeah, control panel. Let's go. Nope. Okay. Keep it up. Is there something I'm supposed to be doing? Ah! Telephone. Probably torpedo room. There might be another torpedo. I'm gonna use a missile to ram into the control room. I don't know about ram. I don't want to blow up Detective Jowd, but something like that. We'll climb up to the torpedo room. Up is safer. See you there. So many missiles. Hell yeah. Looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There are 2 tubes. So, there should be one more left. Guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me! Nominative determinism, let's go! I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. Lynn, did you ever think as a detective you're going to be launching torpedoes? And I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck. Alright. Launch me, baby. Okay. Never mind. Missile. I think that's up to us and our powers. Yeah, other Sicily ain't doing shit indeed. No time to be standing around unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me a strength missile? Me? Of course I will. Count on it. Finally, I can be other ghost. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, boy! Torpedo time! That torpedo looks serviceable. All set on this end, too. Something's odd. What is? Command room. It looks like it's sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's run out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay. Hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. In we go. Come on, missile. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Jowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. That instant will be your window to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. And we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Come on, Missile. Missile? I'm sorry, I can't go. What? I just can't. How can I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it. Missile. I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. I can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels. I want you to go, Missile. What? But, Miss Lynn. You staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen. And that's our only hope. But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never ever. Even I could understand that. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry. Miss Camilla! Oh yeah, that's why there's 2 spots. 2 seats on this torpedo. For 2 good boys. That's a good boy, Missile. Oliver extending her hand. Now are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw the switch. We're ready. Good thing we don't actually have to count 12 seconds. Like freaking Zelda minigames. Sissel? Yeah? We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter now. All I know is I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. Glad we met, Detective. We're gonna see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promised, little lady. Of course we will! I'll never forget you no matter what happens. Here goes. Good luck, friend! The waving! One torpedo was launched to destroy lives. This torpedo is being launched to save lives. These 12 seconds are last in an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. How can a ray of light, of hope, reach this far down in the sea? We're mentioning the ray of light again. Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. There's a reason it's this properly dramatic. This is the finale. In we go. I'm about to blow everyone's fucking minds. Detective Jowd! I bet that big masked man did this. I'm gonna bite him! You better not. You might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and it's sinking. Wonder what that masked man is gonna do. Let's talk to Detective Jowd. Servitor, wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. Can't believe you made it here. How's Camilla? What about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. I told Detective Jowd about everything that happened on the submarine Yanoa. The submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. We're using this sprite instead of the sprite of my actual body for some reason. Anyways, I'm here. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. Are you... Yomiel? Well, I guess just saying his name fixed his appearance, huh? You remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? That's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. But those people on the Yanoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. You got a stupid name! I don't know, Yomiel's fine. I didn't see any need to tell him my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can tell you. Right, Detective? Right. About Yomiel. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? He's a nerd! Is this systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian. Kind of hard to explain, but it's a person who's good at using computers. Nerd! I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It's a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. Whoa! Sounds crazy. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. Doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounds like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I would ever have to deal with spies. He's like, I'm just a techie! Ah! It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved in on this one. Then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. Yeah, he was basically just the, what's the word? The scapegoat. He was a scapegoat for a big government conspiracy. And thus, everything in the game happened as dominoes. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? 6 months after your death. I'm sorry, Yomiel. Aw, that sucks. 10 years ago. Meteor! My soul was split from my body and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. That's a good game. I want to stream that game. Anyways. Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. I existed in this world. No question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Yeah, because you weren't doing it like Sissel do. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. That's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. Man, that feels like a haiku or something. God damn. Jesus Christ. That's not, like, looking at the portrait and then looking at the text are not two things that I would, like, put them side by side. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. The deal. Something I just don't understand about that deal. Sure, your powers would have been very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? A new life. Life? I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they help with my revenge plot. And the second was rebirth. Rebirth? A new beginning? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul, a name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help me. And their response in the end was betrayal. Too good to be true, I suppose. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temzik was all about. And you had no idea they were doing this? None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go all to the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the meteorite from the pack? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power by these 2 idiots. At first, the government didn't believe the report. Understandable. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Him? Don't tell me that leaflet guy. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. That park is a silent battlefield on an international scale. That's why we couldn't steal the Temzik meteorite. Lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy the park in order to secure the Temzik meteorite. Yeah, I was waiting. I was like, secret, powerful. The upshot of your grand deal was this, huh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. At least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Zhao back to life, of course. What? What good will that do? We promised Lynn and Camilla we'd save them. And we can't do that without you. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Love just fucking Yomiel just snoozing in the chair. I mean, he's not there, so it's just a body, but still. So, where are we headed? We are not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There is only enough fuel on board to launch us away. We'll run out soon, and that will be our destination. What are you talking about? That would mean you're trapped here too. Oh, he's a robot. By the way, I am not human. Ooh, he doesn't give a shit. I am a remote-controlled robot. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot. Doink. That's cheating. Why would you go to the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Beep, 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 beep. Oh my goodness gracious. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems. Camilla, forgive me. Damn. Brutal. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what he said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. So for some reason, did fucking Lord Sith or whatever his name is. What did he call him? Head Sith. The fucking Sith Lord. Really didn't want us to have access to Yomiel's body. That's why they took all this trouble to launch it into the fucking sea. And because the meteorite is no longer in it, it's just a normal body. It doesn't have the wibbly wobblies around it anymore. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsik fragment is gone. Could this change? Give us some kind of lead? I figured it out. I know what this possibility is. No, that they're afraid of. What is it? My time stopped, thanks to the power of Temsik. He cycled between life and death, yeah? But not anymore. The Temsik fragment has been taken away. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. It's just permanently fucking dead. My shell is now a regular corpse. That means we can go back? Back to 4 minutes before your death? Wait a minute. When is that? That's simple. We'll find out. When we get there, let's go! Alrighty, let's go back. In time. Not 4 minutes. A couple minutes ago. a long, long time ago. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever. Not an hour. 10 years. The final death at the end of this long night. Who am I? I've seen all of the clues. All I have to do now is remember. The final journey to the truth starts now. We're going back to the beginning of what started everything. Oh, that's a fun illustration. Told you I was gonna blow y'all minds. The final chapter. It doesn't have a time because we don't know what time it is. Gotta get back to the past. Samurai Jack, Sissel. When was Yomiel's death? It was 10 years ago when the Temzik meteorite fell. Oh, that's the thing that fucking squashed the guy. We traveled back through time and now we're here at the scene of that death. Start of it all. It's about to replay itself. Oh, it's 5:26 p.m. actually. Oh, there's little Lynn and her little potato! It's ready! Hold it! I just realized Yomiel is extremely well dressed for a computer programmer. I mean, he did say he was the top of the top, but usually when I think of computer programmers, they're usually, I don't know, kind of slobby. I guess he has a lot of faith in himself. The eccentric haircut kind of makes sense now. Give it up. Do you really think you can outrun me? Systems engineer, they do more than programming. Yeah, he said he designed, like, the core of the, I don't know, big fancy fucking system thing. Eee! Now just calm down. Drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. Meow meow. Kitten, shoot. You might get hurt. It's a really pretty meteorite, actually. Pity it fucking obliterated somebody's life and ruined everything. Ooh. Blech. Are you okay? No, my sweet potato! You're all right now. Are you hurt? You saved me, mister? I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you. What's your job, mister? I'm a police detective. That's the Temzik meteorite, huh? It's beautiful looking at it from this angle. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Changed all of our fates completely. It's like Temzik is Temzit backwards. It means fate or something. We can't stop Temzik from falling from the sky, but we might be able to protect you from the fragment and save your life. I don't know. What's the matter, Detective Jowd? To be perfectly honest, I'm scared. Oh yeah, because he said the thing about, like, I was gonna shoot him anyways, and, like, he would still die. If the meteorite fragment doesn't get him. I'm pretty sure I would have shot him. We might not be able to change your fate of dying. I can accept that. What I did is inexcusable. No matter how the future might change, that fact will never go away. If my fate is to die here, then I can accept that. This will be our last battle against fate. Beyond that will be a new future. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, Lynn legitimately just, yeah, freaking... Gotta get those headphones off, no. I would just wind off somewhere, that would solve everything. When her sweet potato's almost ready, she's not gonna budge from that spot. You know, it makes me wonder, a little girl all alone in the park, listening to music, roasting a sweet potato. Girl, where are your parents? What kind of childhood does this girl have? Doesn't everybody have at least one day in their life like that? Give her a break! So I have to have the fragment move. Alright. Well, okay, become dog. Alright. Spin, spin. Uh-oh. She really is just a fucking Half-Life ragdoll. So good. Roasted sweet potato, headphones, okay, become sweet potato. Alright. What can we do here? Nozzle. I can turn up the headphones. Oh, that made her do that. Made her drop her sweet potato. Fate has changed. She has dropped a sweet potato. I can now spray a nozzle. I see. And then I can spray the sweet potato up here. And that sweet potato looks like the same shape as this, kinda. I think I fucked up my timing, though. The sweet potato looks kinda like the shape of the other things. Oh, maybe I need to move it upwards. Look at that sweet potato! Yeah, it does kinda look like that. Look at them. Both the same shape! Yeah, I gotta spray the nozzle. Hold on. But how do I get over there? I have a roasted sweet potato. How am I gonna get over there? I messed up. Hold on. Okay. I love just the meowing in the distance. Extremely good. Okay, get into potato this time. Yoink. Okay, now I can get in there. Gonna have to do some swapperoonies, but it's fine. Okay. Missile can, yeah, get over here for a minute. Okay, get into the nozzle. He can get into potato. Let's see. So we go. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to help us. Yeah. They ignored that. Yeah, they did not even care. Can we use it to our advantage in any way? Okay. Okay. Oh, what's this? Sweet potato! Okay. Oh. Okay. Says, can we use this in any way? I mean, I can spray it while... Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Only we can use it to our advantage somehow. Okay. Well, I know it, like, crashes through, I think, this one, I want to say? I know at some point... It's about time for that meteorite to come down. We have to change the fragment's path. Paths and fates can be difficult things to change. Okay. Okay. Maybe I needed to actually swap it with that, maybe? Yeah, let me see what it hits again. Flies and yeah, it hits this rightmost one. Okay, it hits the rightmost one. Okay. Okay. So we need to swap it with the rightmost one. Okay. Sweet potato. Yoink. Alright. Spray. Oh no! No! God damn it. Moved too long. God damn it. Fucking sweet potato. God damn it. Oh yeah, he doesn't even know what a sweet potato is. It's a roasted root vegetable. It's good. It's nothing like them on a cold winter's day. They're sweet and smell delicious. These guys are making me want to try one. So he's like, yeah, sounds good to me. I don't know what the fuck a sweet potato is though. Okay. Gotta get in that thing. Spray. Get in the potato. Potato. Alright, up it goes. You get out here. Okay. Become. Spray. Spray it. Oops. It might be too high now. It's fine. Oh, it'll go back down eventually, I think. Yeah. You get in potato. Yeah, I know. Sweet potato does actually sound pretty good. Okay, so we spray it. Okay. So we're actually gonna get... let's see. Ooh. So that, like, squashed it. That, like destroyed the fountain. So what we want to do is get missile over there, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Is there a way for me? Ah, hold on. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Hasn't broken yet. Alright. There we go. Fate should change. Alright, let's see what happens. When the meteor comes. Bam. Okay, it's like the course has changed. Wait a minute. Look at the trajectory. What's in its path? In its path? No. Oh no! Right in the dick! Or the leg, or Detective Jowd. It shot through his leg. What? Cruel twists of fate weren't over yet. Ugh. Put it down. Put the gun down. If you don't, you're gonna shoot him. I don't know if it's his detective training or what, but even though he's shaking for pain, the gun doesn't waver. Put the gun down! Oh my god, my man. I knew it. This is my true fate. Oh my god, Jowd. It was an accident. Shut up, my dude. I stole his life away with my own hands. I won't let that happen! Missile! The bullet is stopped in midair. He's really good at doing that, by the way. I'm here, inside the bullet. Let's swap it with something. With what? Detective Jowd. The meteorite fragment that made you pull the trigger. We won't let you become a murderer. Yeah, dude, that was an accident, dude. We have to prove that murder isn't the detective's true fate. To do that, we have to stop this bullet. Must be something with the same shape as the bullet around here. Potato? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We stopped the bullet, but we still couldn't save him. That's not true. My fate of getting pierced through the back might not have changed, but I'm still alive. Are you shitting me? My dude didn't die from that? What? I'm not dead. I'm just unconscious. Are you shitting me? That looks pretty fatal to me. That looks pretty fatal to me. Your fate of death has changed, but still, this fate is just too painful to watch in every sense. I don't think so. As long as I'm alive, that's good enough for me. Ow. Ow! We were overlooking one thing. The wheel of fate was still slowly turning. Yeah, I'm not dead. I just wish I was. Oh my god. Look out! Wake up. You gotta get out of there. Oh no. This thing really wants to crush people. Damn it. My leg won't work. It's all over. We're out of time. Miss Lynn. It's not over yet. But there isn't anything else to swap with. Why don't we just let it play out and then try and find another way next time? Even if she dies, all you have to do is possess her corpse. Then you can redo her last 4 minutes as many times as you want. No, I won't do that. Why not? Sure, the fact of her death would be erased, but her memory of it would remain like a scar on her psyche. I won't let that happen. Not if I can help it. What can we do now? Even if we work together? I think there might be something that can be done. What is it? What can Sissel and I do? Don't forget, I'm here too. With 3 kinds of powers, we ought to be able to fight this battle. Battle against the fate of death. Yeah, finally! You gonna help us? Sissel, your power is manipulating objects. Use your power to manipulate this. Huh? I don't get it. Just trust me, let's go. Alright, here I go! Gather your strength and make it spray as if your life depended on it. I'm dead. In that case, make it spray as if your death depended on it. You'll only have a split second. Alright, let's go. Spray! Bring the little glass thing. Now it's your turn, Missile. What can I do? I think you know the answer to that. Got it. Swap. Put that hunk back to its original position. It'll still be right above Flynn. Don't worry. Alright, here we go. Whoosh. Still gonna fall. We can't stop the horrible Mino. What can we do? I don't see how gaining a second or two helped. Oh, it helped alright. Those few seconds were exactly what I wanted. It's my turn. Your turn. Him! You know what my power is. I can manipulate living creatures. Wait a minute, you mean... That's right. I'm gonna save that little girl. Save her by manipulating my own unconscious body. Oh my goodness! Toss! Ye gods. Ah, you're awake. Hey, mister, is your knee okay? Oh, it'll be fine. It's just a scrape. It just feels like a shotgun, like, blasted through it, but it's fine. I'm lucky it wasn't a fatal hit, but the main thing is that you're not hurt. You saved me, mister. I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you. Like, 3 of them specifically. Actually, 3 gods. What's your job, mister? Me? I'm a police detective. Do you think you could go call the police for me? Like, not me, the rest of the police? I think you could do it quicker than I could. But... Oh, is that a sticker or is it a badge? Oh, it's a real badge! It's a detective's badge. Me giving them to children who've been very brave. A detective's badge? A dog a murderer? He's not a murderer anymore! All that murder has been prevented! That murder doesn't happen anymore! It's a dog, a computer scientist, and a Sissel. Okay, you know what to do, little detective. We are now in new timeline. We are in timeline of Jowd, who cannot walk on that leg. Probably for a while. Are you alive? Is he? Shit, man. I mean, I guess it only crushed his legs. Yeah. Sadly. Hang on, help is coming. What made you do such a reckless thing? To be perfectly honest, I don't really know. When I came to, my body was already moving by itself. I had no fucking adrenaline. It was as if somebody else was controlling me. It was like me controlling me. I see. But you know, I'm glad it happened.
Kitty! Hey, mister. I found this kitty. It was over here.
Oh, come to think of it, I just saw it a few minutes ago. It's probably a stray.
It's kinda limp. Is it okay?
I don't know. I think it's unconscious. That's funny. It doesn't look like it's injured or anything.
Poor kitty.
What if I take it to my house and look after it? Would you like to come home with me, little kitten? It's a big cat for it to be a kitten. It's like half of Lynn's size. Well, looks like his fate just changed in a big way. I mean, he's gonna be in the hospital for months, but he's not fucking dead. Whose fate? That kitten's, of course. Sissel's. Sissel? The name Sissel echoes in my head. That's my name. Those long, lonely 10 years. You were my one and only friend. I mean, come on, I'm a cool-ass motherfucker. I gotta have, like, a, black cat. Like, I'm a dead guy. But I'm a walking dead guy. I gotta have a cool black cat as my companion. Come on! How about it? Do you remember now? He's got a red bandana who matches. Like, come on! His little tail looks like a wisp. Like a spear of wisp. Come on! It was perfect! Poof. Yeah, boy, the whole time we have been playing as a motherfucking black cat. Oh, so all the times, all of the foreshadowing, where he's like, I can't read, and he's like, I don't know what a kidnapping is, and he's like, oh, were they gonna sing about being hungry and thirsty? Yeah, it's because you're a fucking cat. I also like that apparently a cat's default personality is that he wants to be gentlemanly and protect the ladies. I think that's very sweet. Sissel is a gentleman. He's a good-hearted cat. I think I finally remember. Like, I think it's extremely sweet. I know I said this like 7 times, like, I haven't seen a lot of stories that do this, but genuinely, I haven't seen a lot of stories that have who have given, like, such personality to animal characters. I mean, like, maybe, like, Redwall, maybe, like, that, but, like, Missile and Sissel are given so much heart and personality. Despite being a dog and a cat, like, I don't know, it warms my heart and my soul so much. "10 years ago, I was a little kitten that wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world." Like, I haven't played Stray yet. I really want to play Stray. I feel like that game's gonna emotionally fuck me up. That's probably another game that does it really good. I mean, I know the cat obviously doesn't talk. It's a real cat, but I don't know. This game is so special to me. This game is so special to me. It does so many weird things like that. Like, having a cat and a dog is important emotional characters. Like, I don't know. This game is so special to me. Having a ghost as a protagonist who's a good guy. A cat ghost, of all things, is a good guy. A black cat ghost. fucking happy ending, which we will get to in a second. It's a little kitten that wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world. So yes, this was the original timeline where they met each other. Where Yomiel gets struck by the Temzik fragment. Oh, somebody please look at me. Little tiny kitten says. Oh, a kitten? Shoo, you might get hurt. Rub rub. Somebody, please reach a hand out to me. I'd only died at the time. I'd lost everything. My life, my memory. Oh, he forgot everything. Oof. I forgot I was a stinking computer programmer. My body wouldn't move anymore. And I still managed to reach out a hand to him. Next thing I knew, my soul had transferred to the black kitten. With no recollection of who I was, I lived as a cat with you for a while. Oh, they shared a body. That's kind of interesting. After a while, the man regained his memory, and I went back to being just a cat. The man got his body back. Ah, that's when this happened. Okay. Took my body back from the morgue. There was somebody I just had to see. Just one more time. Kitty cat friend? Controlled my body and hurried to her house. Oh, no. No. But I was a little too late. I just missed her as she left this world. She left me a note that said, "I'm coming to you, Yomiel." The man named me Sissel. It's the name of something important he had lost, along with his life. His fiancée. Wait. Sissel? Hey, this is post-recording Amiable Apparition here. Just to clear up some confusion, so Sissel is actually a female name. It's apparently a Nordic female name derived from Cecilia. So, it makes sense given it was Yomiel's fiancé that has the name Sissel. But I believe Cat Sissel is actually male. He says his fate was changed in a big way, and he gives little Cat Sissel a bandana, and I think that's the only time that gender is actually used for Cat Sissel, but that whole thing is very confusing and just kind of throws a giant confusion into the whole mess. But I guess we as humans do this all the time, where, you know, we might have a male cat and give them a gender neutral or female name. I mean, I have my cat Danielle, who I call Danny all the time. So, or I have my female cat who's named Gigi. So shrug on that one. Is the cat female or male? We don't know, but I think the consensus is probably most likely that Sissel is male, even though they are named after Yomiel's female fiancé. Anyways. He told me about it once, but I didn't understand what it was. Man, that's Sissel lost his lady. Cecilia? Yeah, maybe Cecilia. I mean, to be fair, Sissel did just drop off the face of the earth. So, I mean, he was just vanished. So she would probably be like, you know what? I'm done waiting to see what the fuck happened to this guy. I'm Addie. Those 10 years were very happy for me, but they weren't happy for the man. There was nothing I could do for him. So he stuck me in a bag. For 10 years, I wandered through the darkness with no particular place to go. As time passed, my powers gradually changed. At first, I could only manipulate small creatures like this little kitty cat and objects. But then after a while, I could manipulate people. That's when the darkness inside me deepened, and I started to get a little twisted. I wanted light. Distorted, artificial light, like the light that comes from a lamp, a ray of light. That takes us to tonight. When I got my revenge on Lynn, I would see that light, or at least that's what I tried to believe. Blech. I left my old self buried in that junkyard and, quote-unquote, walked away. Became a little kitty cat. The black cat. I was possessing Sissel then. It wouldn't look very much like a murder if the corpse got up and walked away after all. So you borrowed the body of your old friend. Bye-bye! Sissel was inside the bag I was carrying tonight. I had no intention of leaving my friend behind in the country when I left. But then, when I went to possess his body, I realized something horrible. What was that? Sissel there inside the bag was dead. What? I wasn't able to control her completely. The first bullet didn't hit anything. Or so I thought. But it did hit something. It hit Sissel in the bag. That's when I lost my life. Right there in the presence of Temsic radiation. Hey, I'm a little flame now. That's when I got my powers of the dead. My ghost tricks. I think I understand it now. Why I was the only one who couldn't get his memory back. It was because I thought that corpse was me. It was the only corpse I could see at the time, after all. But as it turns out, it wasn't the only dead body. My true death was hiding just behind that corpse. Now that I think about it, do you remember what you said? That you knew all along about me saving Lynn tonight? If you knew, why didn't you try to stop me? It's simple. 'Cause I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Why not? Remember the thing about individual differences in powers we get? I can control all kinds of things, from the living to the dead. But even so, there are some things that you can do that I can't. You mean I can't even rewind time, let alone change the fate of a death? If I could do those things, I would have saved your life. Not only that, I never would have just let my fiancé stay dead like that. Oh, his fiancé's just straight up dead. Oh shit. But you're here 10 years in the past now. That's thanks to your powers. I just tagged along with you. Yep, there I am. In any case, now the starting point of this entire tragedy has changed dramatically, altering fate. The fate of your death, the kitten Sissel's fate. I can just bet you the fate of the woman you love has changed too. Yeah, I believe you're right. This is the last fate to be averted, eh? Thanks for the acknowledgement, game! So, Yomiel, looks like your plan for revenge ended in failure. Yeah, and I'm glad too. I think I kinda understand now what you've been feeling these 10 years. She understood. She shed tears for me, even though I was a freaking tin can at the time. That's when my revenge was over. She saved me from the darkness. Well, I guess it's time we got back. A new 10 years later was just born. Right, we should get back to our new present. I can't wait to see Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla again. Will these past 10 years... So these past 10 years will vanish. Well, not completely. The memories of all of us will remain, including the memory of what I did. That's the way this Game of the Dead works, huh? No matter what the reason. There's no denying the fact that I took Lynn hostage and tried to point a gun at her. I have no intention of running away from that either. The most inexcusable crime in my new life. So you're gonna, like, do community service or something? Hey, Sissel. Yeah? When we go back, our fates will no longer be interconnected. We'll be like we never met. So, before that happens, I just wanted to say one thing. Tonight, I stole away your life with my own hands. Oh, that's true, technically, yeah. I'm truly sorry. That's already a thing of the lost past. Our fates have changed now, right, Yomiel? Thank you, Sissel. I'm so very glad I met you. Like the fact that this dude's best friend is a cat. He was alone in the world, but he had a cat. I mean, it sounds like he mostly just kind of used him as like a separate body, but like they became friends. Like, tears me apart. Me too, Yomiel. Sissel, are we ever gonna see each other again? I couldn't stand it if we weren't. Don't worry, Missile. I bet we'll see each other again someday. 10 years from now, our paths are sure to cross. Just have to wait till then. Sissel, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you either, valiant little doggy. Looks like you've come to live with me now. Let's be getting home, little black cat. Oh yeah, and in this future, he's adopted by them. Oh. Home, huh? That sounds good, Detective Jout. We all witnessed the birth of a new beginning, and now we're each going back to our own new present. We said goodbye to the parts of our stories that would be lost, believing that someday our paths would all cross again. They better! Wait! Who said wait? Like the... Before you go back to a new present, I wanted to thank you. Ray? How'd you get here? Before I cease to exist. Oh, it's you. Yes, it is I, Ray, in case you have forgotten again. Thanks to you, everything has turned out as I hoped. I'm really grateful for you, grateful to you, Sissel. Thank you. But don't forget, I was only on a journey to find my own lost memory. Yes, I know that. I know all about you. Can I ask you a question, Ray? I want to know, who exactly are you? Fair enough. I will tell you. Let me tell you about another version of tonight's events. You changed the fates of many people. The first, which was hers. Squash. If you had not been there for her tonight, her fate would have been to die in that lonely spot of the outskirts of town. If that had occurred, what do you suppose would have happened? Let me tell you a story. The story of a little creature. After they stole her life that night, they broke into her apartment. Okay, so this is a universe where Sissel never saved Lynn's life, okay? They broke into her apartment. Oh, hello. Jesus. They stole the wooden box from the ceiling hiding place and left. And in the process... Damn! 2 little dead bodies were left behind. However, the little fellow's spirit lived on. He desperately reached out his paw towards his mistress, and that's when a miracle occurred. What? Look at that! The powers of the dead! But how? Well, he died next to Yomiel. He didn't really understand it himself. Not yet, anyway. But with all you know now, I bet you understand, do you not? Wait a minute. Yep. Oh my god, that freeze frame, no! Oh, lordy. He died inside the aura of the strange energy. But unfortunately, with his meager powers, he was unable to save his little mistress. There just wasn't anything he could do with the power to swap objects. He needed the power to manipulate objects in order to save the little lady. The little fellow chased after the men, but there wasn't anything he could do. In the end, he was left behind with the man in the red in the deep, deep sea. Wow, he got this far. And then he went back. He went back to the world of 10 years before, to the moment of the man in red's death. What? So he tried to prevent it all himself. He decided to wait it out. He decided to wait until that night came again. And that's the other version of the story of this night. A story that has taken these 10 years to be retold. So that was you, huh? Grandpa Missile! That's right. I'm Missile. 10 years is a very long time in dog years. You couldn't change the fates of these people on your own, so you decided to wait those 10 years out. Exactly, and then, at last, that fateful night rolled around again. By this time I had grown old and my powers were weak. Oh, they did say that powers change over time. I decided I needed to find somebody to help me. Somebody who possessed different powers than me. Wait a minute. You were able to manipulate the death lamp. They said powers change over time. Over the course of the long years, my powers changed. My ability to swap objects weakened, but I became to be able to manipulate small objects. In that case, why didn't you cooperate with yourself? I couldn't. From watching the man in red, I found out there were individual differences in our powers. I couldn't do any of the things he could do, like travel through the telephone lines. What? It may not seem like much, but it's a very important power. Especially if you're trying to chase somebody. Something I don't understand. You knew from the very beginning that I had that power. How did you know so much about me? Why wouldn't I? After all, we had met before on that night the first time around. What? We'd met before? From listening to the conversation of the two intruders to the apartment, I learned that Miss Lynn had lost her life at the junkyard on the edge of town. I followed the ghost world paths to the junkyard and came upon an incredible scene. Imagine, if you will, there in the darkness, a twisting and swiveling desk lamp. It made my fur stand on end, I can tell you. That was me? So I shot on that night as well. You had lost your memory that time too. You had just died and felt confused. You declined to cooperate with me. I did what? I just want to find my own lost memory. I'm sorry. I can't help you. That's what you said. And off he goes. And then you disappeared. Away over the telephone line. Yeah, Lynn's just dead. Doesn't matter. Bye. Didn't save Lynn. Just off he goes. I'm really sorry I didn't help you. That's why I decided I would use that desire of yours to our mutual advantage. Mutual advantage? The only thing you were interested in was finding your own lost memory. If I could guide you along the right path to doing that, we would both benefit. Namely, the right path would be the path to the man in red, to Yomio. What? I gave you the information you needed to know to set you in the right direction. Then I gave you a time limit. Time limit? That's right. As you know, I said you only had until tomorrow morning. If I hadn't done that, you wouldn't have found out the truth tonight. And the man in red would have been sealed away at the bottom of the sea forever. If that had happened, it would have been all over. Then you mean that thing about ceasing to exist? Oh, that I made it up. A little naughty of me, I know. But I just wanted to use your time wisely. Oh boy. Hate to admit it, but this little doggy really outsmarted me in every way. Let's just call it the wisdom that comes with age. Now it's time to say farewell. Old Missel's not gonna exist, only new Missel. Yeah, he was playing 5D chess, man. These past 10 years will cease to exist, and with them, so will I. Missel, I believed in you. I always knew you could do it. And so you did. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Missel, you waited and waited these 10 long years. All for the sake of your two ladies, Lynn and Camilla. Of course. Because that's what doggies do. Woof, woof. Now then, farewell, Sissel. And so the story of a single night came to an end. Nobody but us knew what really happened in this town tonight. I did not click that. I made my way back to a new present. Huh? How come it's dark? I'll just turn on the lights here. Lynn, no! Yeah, there's no gun on the wall, we're fine. Kitty! Were you surprised? You bet I was. You nearly scared me to death. Yippee! It worked! It's not even my birthday. It was my mom's birthday the day before yesterday. I made the surprise for her, but it came out so well, I wanted to use it again. Oh, I guess his leg's all fixed up. That's right, Lynn. For all, we're celebrating the birth of your new position as a detective, right? Really? Thanks, Detective Jowd. Dad, you're home. Hi, Camilla. Let me introduce you. This is Lynn. She was assigned to the detective division today. Hi, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Lynn. Congrats on becoming a detective. Huh? Something wrong? You have one of those badges, too. Oh, this? Yeah. I have one just like it. My dad gave it to me the other day. Oh my god. You're just handing out badges to everyone. But yours looks a lot older than mine. Aw, it's the one from that day. How long are you gonna keep wearing that toy badge? What's wrong with it? To me, this is the symbol of a real detective. It's been 10 years since then, hasn't it? I would have guessed you'd actually become a real detective one day. You gave me this badge, I just knew. It was my destiny. Destiny, huh? Now that I'm a detective, I'll find out where that destiny will lead me. That we will, that you will. Oh, hello. Don't tell me you're the same little kitten. That's right, the very one. This is a very, very special cat. He's 10 years old, but he's still a kitten. Oh, that's like me with my cat. That's exactly me with my cat. You're a little kitty cat, aren't you, you baby? Still a kitten. He never got any bigger. What a mysterious little fellow. No, right? His name is Sissel. Sissel. Seems like I've heard that name somewhere before. Love the little tail twitch. I think Sissel likes you. mom's alive. Look at that fancy, like, ribbon thing she's wearing. Alright, everyone, let's start the celebration. Dude, look at that chicken. Okay, Mom. Oh, picks up the kitty. I bet you're just like me. Your destiny led you here somehow, too. Aww. So we meet again, Sissel. Yeah, she got all the mom's traits. From that, just that single night as a human, I got a glimpse into their world and I learned something. Their fate, their lives are all interconnected. Somewhere, I couldn't. Somewhere, somehow, in some way, I think is what it said. And now, this is my new fate. Being a house cat, hell yeah! Ooh. He got the ghost powers. Oh my goodness. Yum 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 yum. I guess I really am a cat. It suits me just fine to curl up and watch the strangers and their beautiful patterns as the lives unfold. Looks like I have plenty to watch here for quite a while. There, yay! Ghost trick! Missile! Oh, look at him on top of the present, loafing. Happy birthday to our lovely Lynn. Like I said, it isn't my birthday. Hey, Missile, I thought I asked you to stay home and guard the fort. Birthdays are for celebrating with friends and loved ones. Nothing like it. Ooh, we got the pasta. Don't get it. You can't have a spot on your coat. Danger. Danger zone. Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting you to, last the whole stream, Pitface. But you got to see it. Oh, I love him imitating him going down the stairs. That's real good. How do you like that? Not bad, huh? Definitely not good. Maybe now I can be a great detective just like Inspector Capaniella. What kind of example is the inspector providing for his men? Koki Kinoshita. Great job on the character design. Drifted in and out? Hey, that's pretty great. Oh my god, this weird shoe man! Here's your food, gentlemen. Memory? What are you doing here? I heard you were gonna be picking new members for the Special Investigation Unit today. Took on a part-time job here again just so you could eavesdrop? Yup. Oh, you have no idea the lengths I go to reach my goals. Yeah, man, you gotta see what's happening to everybody. Everyone's enjoying some chicken. I've never cooked it this way before. So exotic, so exciting. Turmeric, coriander, coriander, fenugreek? What? I couldn't even see the rest of it. Curried chicken. Oh, that sounds delicious. Our very best customer requested it. Good luck with the taste testing. Nah, I can't save the chickens, though. I don't think I could eat another bite. Just who exactly is this very best customer, anyway? Oh, my god. I just love the pan! The pan! You don't even need dialogue. All you need is just to show his face and you know exactly what's happening. That is just the smile. The pan and the smile, that's all you need. Oh, what are they up to? Are you sure we really need all these explosives? Not to worry, Beauty, my dear. I followed the instructions exactly. 20 kilograms of gunpowder, just like it said. Oh no. He really is a sleep paralysis demon. 20 kilograms? I thought it was 20 grams. Oh. He's having a great day, though. Look at him. I like that they're still up to nefarious things. Blue country is still blue country. Blue people country. This family. This is where you work, huh, Papa? Oh my god, the smile. That's right, sweetheart.
Darling husband, don't you have any ideas all you could give me? You must have heard some juicy stories.
Now, must you talk that way in front of our darling angel?
Is to the stodgy mind of my darling husband.
Oh my gosh, she cheers him on the face! Incredible. So good. I love that family. I love that family so much. Oh, these guys. Yep, these guys. The deal is going quite well. Oh, I must say, these grapes are quite good, my man. But you know it's about to scrape the bottom of the sea. Be forewarned. Oh, egad! Keep it together. You're trying to give me a case of the vapors. I nearly died of fright. Still doing shenanigans in their submarine. Also, that guy killing it with the freaking music. I love the freaking soundtrack in this game. So good. Love, peace, and pigeons. Long live rock and roll. Studying up on the meteor. Oh, he did say pigeons. Yep. Yeah, I love the headbanging pigeons. Oh my god. Stop the park from charging admission. Protect the rights of people who live here. I don't think people live in a park, but yeah. I mean, like, maybe homeless people, but like... Yes, Bailey! What are you doing? Today's the day, you know? He's finally getting out. You know, everybody's starting to get real tired of seeing you do that. Then let me show you a new dance that's been passed down in our family for generations. We do this when we have a stomachache. We call it Dance Away the Pain. Oh, I'm real interested in that one. Think you could show me next week? You got it! We need more cops like Bailey, and I forget the other guy's name. Oh! Oh my god. Amazing. 10 long years, Yomiel. Your time's up today. The young lady who always comes to visit you is waiting outside. What was he painting? Thank you, Sissel. No, what were you painting? I want to know. Oh, that's what he was painting. Oh my god, he's talented. Holy crap. Aww, happy family. Yeah, I guess he went to jail because, I mean, he did escape from being interrogated. by the police, so he would technically get jail time for that. He would get jail time for that. And pointing a gun at a girl in a park. Well, he recovered from having a giant boulder falling on his body and being skewered in the back pretty well. He seemed just fine. I mean, it was 10 years later, but you know, he fucking walked that off like a badass. I'm glad you could see the end of it, Pitface. Please get some sleep. I am so happy this got ported to the Switch. I am so glad people are gonna be able to play this. Because unfortunately, the 3DS is now a dead system, kinda. So... And just people didn't really know it existed. Like Ghost Trick was just kind of an unknown game. People just didn't really know it was a thing. But, they did a great job with the port. It looks great, sounds great. And not only that, Capcom did a good job of, like, promoting the shit out of it when they, released the port too, which I really appreciate, that they didn't just like release the port and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, Ghost Trick came out. You know, like they were clearly very proud of it, so I'm very happy about that. It's also funny because like the original writer, it was like Shu Takami or whatever. They're like, yeah, there it is. Ghost advisor Shu Takumi. They're like, yeah, do you want to do like a sequel to this? And they're like, because people were really liking the port and everything, and he's like, well, it'd be cool to like play with this like world again and like this universe and stuff. And he's like, but this story, like as you saw, is like, you know, pretty much been wrapped up with a nice little bow. But it'd be wild if they do make a sequel. I have no idea how they do it. It would probably be an entirely new cast of characters. I mean, like, you could maybe have the cat, Sissel Cat, but I have no idea how you would do it. I could see the mechanics being used in a game. Like that aspect, but it would have to be an entirely new, different, like entirely new story, entirely new characters. But what'd we get? Oh, concept art, baby, let's go. I love it. We get Yomiel made of trash. Lovely. Aww, baby. Oh, wow. Look at these proto-Yomiels. Look at his hair. That's wild. Oh, Proto-Lyn. I like her pants. That's fun. Oh, that middle one's fun. Yeah, and then we have her actually looking like herself on the right. That's fun. She's a green trench coat, kind of like Jowd. That's fun. Ah, idea for the blue people. Ah, interesting. Oh, Camilla. Yeah, she looks more like herself on the right. I like that middle one. That one's interesting. She looks so somber. Oh my god. Sissel concept. The face is so funny looking. I'm glad they didn't go with that face. Is that Missile concept? They originally weren't gonna go with a Pomeranian? Wild. Ooh, I wonder who this was supposed to be. Maybe the mom? She looks more like a secretary. Does it have... I don't think it has any information. Ooh, who's she? I don't know who she's supposed to be. Oh, maybe their daughter? I'm guessing the daughter, but she's like way older. Yeah, she's a lot older though. Yep, and then this is the Prime Minister guy, yeah. Yep, and we got the guys that are working. Cabanela. Yeah, I like how they went with, like, you know, a generic kind of cop, deadbeat cop, and then they were like, nah, he's gotta be cool. Kind of pointy nose. Interesting. Oh, this is the guy handing out the papers. I like that they eventually gave him more of an afro. I'm very happy they did that. Oh, Pigeon Man! Yeah, he looked more like a mechanic. Chicken Kitchen? Oh my god. Oh, that's terrifying. He had fish lips. Yeah, she just had like a generic uniform, but then eventually they gave her like a wild, like, chicken uniform. I'm glad they went that direction. And then the prisoners. Oh, I guess this was Jowd. Because he was a prison uniform Jowd, I guess. They definitely wanted him to be an artsy prisoner. Ooh, for the animations. That's cool. That's so cool. So they drew out the, like, keyframes for the animations and made notes for them. Oh, this is awesome. Oh no, there's Lynn floating. Yeah, there's Camilla with the gun, looking like a badass. Got her carrying Camilla. Waving the flashlight, climbing up the ladder, looking at the flashlight. Yeah, wow, this is cool. Yeah, all the different keyframes for, like, pointing the gun. That's so cool. All of Yomiel's keyframes. That's so cool. How dramatically he changes from his different poses. Look how sassy he looks when he's sitting there. Yeah, the way he spins it. When did he sit like that? I don't remember. That's so funny. Ladies. when did this happen? I don't remember that. This is so good. When you have too much to drink. Planking. Engi Yomiel. Oh yeah, that's when she's putting the box in there and shoving the guy. Yeah, his poses are so good. The freaking Ace Attorney Idiot! Were there any good ones here? I mean, Lyn had so many animations. Poor floating Lyn. Got the watch, got her freaking out. Got her with the umbrella. Got her sneezing. Oh, they're sneezing! Sneezing! Cute little sneezing Lyn. Achoo! Picking up the umbrella. Sinking down in despair. Got her shaking him. Oh yeah, that was her backing up, actually. So that's the first pose, and that's her backing up. That's her tripping. This is more Lyn? Yeah, more Lyn. Oh, that's her carrying Missile! Very good. Missile! Good boy. Play with the leaf. Good. Oh, the leaf blowing away! Oh no! I wasn't expecting them to include this. This is really cool. It just shows like how much animation goes into this. This is really cool. Oh yeah, her being like, take her pills, take her pills! Slamming on the desk. Oh yeah, them talking. Yep. I'm kind of shrugging, it looks like. Oh yeah. Her doing the shooting the gun. Yep, him leaning, yep. Oh, I don't think she does that now. Originally, she was just gonna toss the gun. That's real good. That's real good. Yeah, that's real funny. Ah yes, eating the chicken in giant mouthfuls. Very good. Yeah, slamming. Very good. Oh yeah, her hiding her little notebook. Very good. Yeah, I saw that pose a lot. That's real good. Her hiding. Oh yeah, her hiding in the little thing. Very good. Man. So much animation for Lyn. Oh yeah, the one daughter who's sick. That's right. Ah yes. The mom. The crank. The wine bottle. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I don't think I ever saw these, where she gets bonked on the head. I don't think I ever got to see those, unfortunately, if they were in the game. I only ever saw her doing the freaking Matrix pose. Yeah, where she's shaking around. Banging things. Yeah, I remember him, yet putting the thing away. The grapes. Aw, he never. I don't think that was ever an animation that was made, unfortunately. Yeah, he just eats the grapes. More of the, yeah, sick daughter. Yeah, the mom who punches it one finger at a time, yep. Tosses out the thing. Oh, interesting. Some things were crossed out. They decided not to do it. I do remember her spinning the thing. Decided not to do some of these. Interesting. Rocker guy is very simple. Alright, yeah, guy kicks down door, walks in, dog is barking. Shoots dog. It poses with his foot, yep. Lots of written notes about this one. On the phone. Sits down. Yeah, I remember loving that animation where he picks the donut up with his gun. And then eats it. Yeah, I remember commenting on that animation. I freaking love that. So fucking good. Sits down and just whoop! Eats the donut. So good. Chicken kitchen lady. Yeah, brings his stuff. That's a big chicken. I don't know if this ever happened. I don't know if I ever saw her bumping into things or spilling things. Yep. I remember these. Yeah, it comes down from his hat. Man, this is wild. They included all of these. Oh no, they should have kept that! He could have pushed himself on his chair. Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, he gets the notes. Oh, that would have been good. Oh well. Yep, he builds his little card tower and it falls. Yep, yeah, I remember him struggling with the thing. Yeah, yep. Yep, I remember. Yep, she had that pose when she was on the phone. Yep. I like ex-girl. Pigeon Man. Ah yes, girl, Pigeon Lanes and girl. Very good. Yes, the spoopy detector. Good old spoopy detector as he's laying on the table. He gets up. I love that expression! That expression is so good! Oh no! Standing there. Ah yeah, and then he sets off the thing that explodes. Yeah, I like it. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and you have to help him fall down, and he falls on his butt. Yep. Yeah, and he gets the pigeon to fly the thing over. Honestly, yeah, I mean, these are the style of storyboard drawings. I mean, this would be about the detail that I would have for storyboard drawings, and I would hope to make them as expressive as these, so I'm actually super happy that they included these, because I hope to have this kind of expressiveness and simplicity, but recognizability of the characters. Because when you do storyboard drawings, this is exactly what you want, where you have like a simplified model of a character like this, especially like for her. So yeah. Yeah, his little stylish way of moving. I love it. I love it. Cabin Yellow's moves. Oh, originally he's gonna have a rose. The policeman blushing, and then the other guy's like, ugh. I love it. I love it. Just they're brainstorming about how Cabin Yellow would move. So good. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's the Cabin Yellow pose. Opening the door. Lanky ass Cabin Yellow. Oh no, Lynn! And he's all, Arr! Yeah, these poses are fantastic. I mean, like, look at these. They're so good. I mean, these are the key poses that they're gonna have the models pose to. Oh god, there's Footman! Ah god, there's the note about, dude, the guy that's not wearing shoes and his weird ass feet. It's awesome. Spin. Oh yeah, the thing that he did with the chair. I fucking loved that. Too cool. And then reverse! Get up from cool chair. I wish I could read Japanese. I love that they include all the notes and stuff. I do not know any of these. Oh, dude, notes about fucking Junkio meal. So good. Oh yeah, him when he like leapt. So good. I'm sorry, I can't get over whenever they draw a simplified face. It's so good. Aw, Kitty Sizzle! So cute! Yeah, the little note about the tail always twitching. So cute. I'm gonna die. Ah, in the original drawing, the little hand was a lot smaller. That's cool. Very cool. Love these little drawings about like maybe how he's supposed to move or something. See, like even this little simplified drawing, you like know exactly how he's supposed to, like what pieces are the important ones to like focus on. You get it immediately. Like this one's obviously more detailed, but like you get it immediately in that simplified drawing. It's so good. Oh, nice! They were brainstorming like what junk parts could make up like Junkio meal. This is that like a food? It looks like a carrot or something. They were thinking like food pieces. All the brush. There's a bone in there. There's some meat. A melon. A fish bone. Oh god, that's true. Springs. Helicopter. Light bulbs. Yeah, they originally thought like a fan in the middle. More Junkio meal ideas. Oh, like how is he gonna pull them up? And then like how's he gonna sit? That's cool. Junkio meal arm. Oh, cool. All the individual parts. That's so cool. And then little Lynn. That's so cool. And then eventually they thought of the big hand. That's neat. Ah, they're thinking about the pose and like the cover. And there's the ass up, face down. Oh, the paws. The paws walking over him. Oh, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that one. That would be too much spoilers, but that's still really funny. I like the little drawing of Missile with his little paw up. That's funny. That's cool with the Ray. Oh, these are just little doodles. Oh, these are great. Static. Oh my god, Shu Takumi drew this. Oh, that's great. That's really good. Oh, that's cute. He doodled a couple things. That's really cute. That's fucking cute. I didn't know he could draw. These are awesome. Christmas tree, Omeo, what the fuck? Oh, and then I guess they just include like cutscenes, maybe? Why is this here? I guess there's a cutscene that they include for some reason. I don't know why it's here. Complete apartment puzzle. What? Why is this shit? I have to do this on my own. No! Well, I think this is the art book. I didn't even know these things existed. Until this came out, so... I had never seen this shit before. Delightful. Well, I have more art to unlock, so I gotta do puzzles. Ghost puzzles. Well, anyways, thank you all for joining me for Ghost Trick. Phantom Detective. This game is a delight. I will never shut up about Ghost Trick. I will talk about Ghost Trick forever. But for now, everyone have a good night. And I'll have to figure out what game I want to stream next. Yes, I'm glad that you enjoyed. And have a good one.